Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having me, man. Feels good to be here. Feels good to be here.
Welcome to Texas.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I imagine Texas to be. It's like a lot of people welcoming you and stuff. Good vibes. Seems like people are just in their own world, unlike you know New York City or like another. I don't know. I feel like other cities around the world, or especially in the United States, are very weird like that. It's like everybody's in each other's business. People tweaking out. I don't know. It's refreshing. Texas is definitely refreshing for sure.
Yeah. So we were talking offline about your acclimatation to Texas. It's different coming from New York. It's a busy city, like the never sleep city,
Yeah.
and come over here and everybody just like smiling faces and not on your business. It's just like everybody in the old, in the little bubbles.
Yeah.
I would say, but in the same token, they just like so welcoming that you hear. Do they? By the way, do you get recognized already on the road on the streets?
Uh, I don't think I've been outside that much. Nah. I don't have no. That hasn't happened yet. Nah.
Not that hasn't.
People don't care out here, man.
But hey, you will get to it. One day you'll be like, "Hey, are you Lou?"
Yeah.
And then
No.
it's gonna snow.
Yeah, it happened more in New York. Like that's the thing. I feel like I was doing. I'm still like obviously always want to be from New York, but I believe that I had a good base in New York. A lot of people that I wouldn't expect to come up to me. Like one time there was this dude, a big ass chain on. I was out at a place in Dykeman, which is is a heavy Dominican area, uptown New York City, where this in El Jefe, this dude is coming up to me, and in New York City, like somebody with a chain on coming up to you, it could go either two ways.
Mhm.
And he was like, just came up to me, shook my hand, like, yo, I watch your stuff, man. I mess with your channel. I love it. Like, and I'm like, that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, people paying attention. Things are changing. Things are a little different because, a Dominican guy, you know, like mostly a lot of people would say that politics is, it's a white sport. Like it's like white people only. Like, nah, man, like Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, everybody is involved in this, that this is a real thing. So yeah, I thought that was when my perspective changed. I'm like, okay, we're doing something here. We got the Puerto Ricans, we got Dominicans,
Yeah.
we got a lot of people that are tapping in that are seeing something happen. There's a shift. So that's when I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like there's something here.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's been a shift since I believe 2016. That's when the big shift happened when Trump came to the scene and shook everything up. I mean, he was like when he stepped on the arena, on the politics arena. Everybody was not prepared
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
for what he brings. So he's from New York, so he bring that attitude, that persona. Plus, he got the money, so you can tell him shit,
Yeah.
and he will not take shit from nobody. And it was hard to even politician to handle him because I would like we say in the military, he was a loose cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way you can pull the reins on him. There is no, what I mean, there is nothing they can do. So I like that from Trump.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I like, And
So I was 19 in 2016. So that was my first eligible year that I could vote. 2016, I remember being like a Bernie guy, right? Like super progressive, like, oh, like, free everything for everybody. Not really
so you were a
understanding.
Bernie
Like,
fan?
it wasn't really, if there was, I didn't vote, but if there was anybody, I remember telling, there's this woman, like, she's like my grandma. I call her my grandmother. Name is Mima. She was a super Hillary Clinton person. They're all Democrats. And at that time, like, I wasn't a Hillary person at all. Like, Hillary just rubbed me the wrong way. So she did a lot of progressives, a lot of young people at that time, a lot of people that were revolting. They weren't revolting and going to Trump. They were revolting and going to like Bernie. So yeah, I wouldn't say I was a Bernie guy, but if there was anybody I was gonna vote for, it would have ended up being Bernie, because Trump was considered at that time to be this bigot, racist person. I didn't understand really much about politics. I didn't really understand the game. But yeah, like I said, 19 years old, at that time I'm into like Black Lives Matter. I'm looking at America as like this huge, like, domestic enemy to me or to my friends and family. I'm not really looking at America as this place of opportunity, this place of excellence, or this place that could really change my life, right? Like, it still has its faults, but I'm like blaming the country and the people in the country. I don't know. It was a very revolting time in my life where everything I looked at was just like, so it kind of drew, like when I heard Bernie talk at that time, it would drew me to Bernie. But yeah, like, obviously that changed completely, but that was like the early thought. It was like, okay, free everything. Let's just go socialist. Why not? It sounds great. Like, I think that mostly every young person looks at that and they're like, yeah, like that sounds good. I think I have my pinpoints to why people go progressive, or young people, progressivism is so attractive. When you look at where America is at, right? Like, you look at the world, it's so hard to own, right? Like, people don't own their houses no more, or people like rent. Like, you got reports coming out. It's like rent is better than buying right now. If you got economists saying stuff like that, writing columns about that, so life has become very hard, right? Like, the boomer class will go and they'll, shout out to the boomers, love the boomers. But I just think that the liberal boomers and even conservative boomers, to a degree, they don't understand what the young people are really going through out here, which is why they're so liberal and progressive and fight the system. They hate the system. The system is destroying them. They think about it. They're not owning anything. Young people don't really have much to look forward to. So even then, it was more like, okay, this is why this is attractive. And even today, this is why this is attractive. Like, somebody like Luigi. Why are so many people? This guy's a murderer, cold-blooded murderer. He murdered somebody, an innocent guy. I don't know if he was innocent. I don't know what this guy done in his life. Healthcare CEOs is like the mafia nowadays, right? But it's like conservatives, they can't turn a blind eye to what and why. That's where I come in. I try to bridge that gap. It's like, okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Before you judge these people and these kids, understand their why. And understand, why they're like this, and, why they're attracted to, a healthcare CEO being destroyed. The healthcare system I just saw a story the other day. It's like this guy couldn't even get the surgery because he was denied. Like that's crazy in the United States of America. So people, again, not to wander off too deep into the deep end there, but it's just these things become that way for a reason. And for me, I'm not a progressive. I don't hate progressives, but man, progressives are different. Like, they just, I don't know, they live in a different reality than me. But I understand their why. You know what I mean? Even though they might not understand yours and mine, they're not that tolerant. But yeah, that's my opinion on why people like Bernie Sanders and AOC, why they become attractive to young people. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah. I was thinking the same. That was my follow-up question. Since they paint progressive and they paint socialism so good, of like we wealthy, why we not? Why we not getting that money?
Yeah.
But at the same token, they're not giving that money out. They're giving to total strangers coming in, and now the people feel neglected. And now what I'm seeing is that even the socialist kind of protesters turning their back to the left. I mean, you see in the protests, they're questioning them, like AOC and these guys in Chicago, like, why are you giving away money that's supposed to go to the less privileged,
Well, that's why Trump won in 2024.
Yeah.
you could argue even that's why he won in 2016, right? Like he was addressing things that were not really being addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Americans, a lot of Americans will never really tell you who they vote for. Like a lot of people would say they vote Democrat. Not really, right? It's like people will always vote in their best interest, in my opinion. Then you have the vote blue no matter who people, which is the people that will always vote for a Democrat. You have vote red, people like that. But I would say that in 2024, at least for me, right? Because I can only speak for me. I'm 28 years old now. Almost 10 years ago was the first time I could vote. So your perspective might be a lot different than what you saw because I wasn't really that active in politics. Even in 2020, I was somewhat active, somewhat. But after 2020, I could tell you that from what I seen, people, they saw, once Joe Biden became president, Kamala Harris vice president, things changed, right? You started seeing the sanctuary city laws. You started seeing the abolition of like ICE, right? Like you stopped seeing immigration laws being enforced. The immigration system is now broken. It was already broken before that, in my opinion. But now you have people just coming into the country who we have no connection to, don't know. At least for me, I can only speak for me. But they come into the country, they're seeking asylum, they're not being vetted. So again, we don't know. And then here's another thing about that, right? Like that could be one of the main reasons why Trump would win. It's like, yo, you just saw like elected politicians literally betray the American people. Depends on how you think about it. Because some people won't think about it that way. But you just had a whole bunch of people that have not been vetted. We don't know who they are. They're in the country now. Obviously, you saw what happened when Lake and Riley, Nungari, right? You saw what happened with the MS-13 gang members or Tren de Aragua. We saw what happened in New York City. Like, I saw it. I saw it firsthand being from New York City. I didn't have to go listen to nobody. I went to Queens, brothels everywhere, prostitution everywhere, like all Venezuelan girls, right? It took like literally 6-7 months. Shout out to Ramses Frias. He's running for, I think, district leader or council. I'm not sure what he's running for, but he's running for something out there. But he was calling this out. They were literally in the streets. There was prostitution in the streets. NYPD could look at it, but they weren't raiding yet because I guess the FBI was working on a raid. So the NYPD can only watch. But these are the things that normal people that vote Democrat, that are very progressive, they go and they say, I'm sorry, what's going on here? What's really happening? Why are you guys doing this? And why do you, like, this is not being addressed? This is AOC's district. This is, these are the districts of very popular Democrats, right? So for me, I saw New York City shift. Now they obviously still voted for Kamala majority, but all city, it's all New York City. Like it's all in these boroughs. But if you look at the whole state is red, man. Like the state shifted to a very red drastically. New Jersey as well. You saw a lot of changes. So yeah, you saw the country got a big wake-up call. Like all the swing states that Trump won, or won all of them, like there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? Like people got really worried about, what the Democrats, what their goals were. So that became very attractive. Like Trump, I hate Trump. I hate the way he talks. I hate what he's about. But you could put all of it into like a under an umbrella. They try to go after him, they try to lock him up. Like this is like it turned into a banana republic. Right, like the gender stuff, like him coming out like I'm gonna keep men out of women's sports. Like that stuff is important to people. That's people's everyday life. Like I know policies. We could talk about policies, but that right there is like people have children, right? So people have families. But then you look at who votes for who. Okay, let's look at this. Big numbers will always indicate that progressives never really have kids. They don't have kids yet. They're not really worried about those things yet, right? The things that you may worry about that makes you a real life conservative about you and your family, your money, they don't have that yet. So again, you can make an argument to why Trump won, but I think Trump won because of all those issues put together. You have war overseas. You have war breaking out. You have no peace talks. You have no communication, no open lines with Putin. You have no open lines at all. So that became very attractive to somebody that would never vote for Donald Trump. Somebody that would never vote for Trump, they said, I got to vote for this guy. Like, I have to vote for him. Like, you guys have given me no choice. And I root for Democrats to be better because unfortunately in the United States of America, we only have a two-party system that dominates. That's bad. I don't like that because then you have a uniparty. It's like full-blown corruption. Can't run as an independent. You won't get anywhere. You won't get the funding. You know, the Green Party, you know, Jill Stein, they didn't really move the needle. So, yeah, you want to root for America to have more parties. You want America to not be two-party system because that's crazy. But in this two-party system, you have MAGA, you have Trump, who is beyond that. So, yeah, it was a real wake-up call for America, man. It really was. Now you look at the border today, and you're like, okay, I feel much safer. And for some people, they will take all the bullshit in the world just to have a safe border. They will take all the bullshit from Trump just to make sure that, you know, young men are not in little girls' bathrooms.
Yeah.
Or that doctors are not operating on these kids. Like, people don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but they don't give a fuck about anything else. That to them was like, that's it. Trump could say, I don't care. That's it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, people got older from 2016.
Yeah.
People became a lot more conservative. Their lives have changed. They got kids, they got families, they have property. And they're like, the socialist ideology is not attractive no more.
Yeah.
I don't want you to come for my land. I don't want you to come for what I have. I want you to take. Why you keep taxing me so much money? I want to keep mine. So yeah, I would say America has changed. Now I don't know if Republicans and Trump would be able to keep it, you know, but that's why you saw like a crazy reaction from people that you would never in a million years imagine that will come from them.
Yeah, Donald Trump is something else because he got the ability to tap in on people's like, you know, like daily life and what they're going through. And also he is able to connect like your motivation and trying to make you do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
By, you know, by tapping into emotion, you know, that thing that Democrats do a lot. Like they tap into people's emotions and not using their logic. And you can, I mean, you see it every day. People donating money to this kid, to Carmelo Anthony, which is murder another kid, and they raised almost $500,000. Like, now they praising the dad who run over a police officer because his son got killed by other police officers. I mean, he ran over a police officer. He got nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
He was already retired.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
And people are praising him. I see my Facebook, and I'm like, these people are crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's the thing about America. Is like, again, when you're a part of the left, you look, the left is like they want to be the representative for like the underdog, right? Like, if you're oppressed, we're here with you, right? You know what I mean? Like, their party dies if oppression dies, right? Like this ideology of like, you must be obsessed with making sure, or oppression has to exist. Like racism has to exist for some people to make money. You know what I mean? Like on the right and the left. I've noticed these behaviors over the years. It's like they're no different from each other. But when we're talking about the left here, like they will root again. It stems from the Luigi. Luigi was an eye opener for me because I was like, why are people like cheering this? This guy just killed somebody, just killed the CEO, cold-blooded, silencer, broad daylight, New York City. It excited people. It's like, why? Well, you ever watched a movie about a bad guy? Like, you ever watch You? It's about this guy he's a bad guy. This dude is like obsessed with women. He does crazy stuff. People are cheering for that guy in this show, right? the Joker on Batman. I was cheering for the Joker. I was like, man, I like this character. But it's a test of to humanity to where are we right now? And I think we're at a very dark place. We're at a very dark place where when that bullet missed Trump, a lot of people were disappointed by that. You know what I mean? Like they want to see this guy die, right? Like this guy in their movie is a bad guy. Luigi in their movie is the good guy, right? So it's become a narrative thing. It's become we are obsessed with destroying America. What is America? To some degrees, there's some truth to this. This is all what I've noticed. America invaded Iraq. They said there was weapons of mass destruction in there. There were none, right? How many people died?
Thousands.
One strike for America. We're talking about, we're starting in 2003, 2004. We could start beyond that, way before that. But for the last 20 plus years, America has told the world that we are the good guys. We're not. So for a lot of people, a lot of domestic issues are a translation to say we're not happy here. We're not happy with the system. We're not happy. But then it translates to how do people start making money? Race. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Let's obsess about this. Yeah. This guy got killed by this little black kid got killed by a black guy. I mean by a white guy. Let's obsess about this. It's gonna make a lot of money. You know, George Floyd, it's gonna make a lot of money. Don't look at where the money's gonna go, but we're gonna make a lot of money. And we're gonna bring all the attention to this. So yeah, I would say that parts of America are very obsessed with, like, they're starving for like the next bad thing to come. So they can go talk about it, protest about it. And it's just like a cycle, a repeating cycle. Yeah. I don't even know if this is real anymore. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was outside for the George Floyd protest. And again, the attractiveness is like, you're fighting for somebody that needs help. That's the idea. It's like, yeah, this George Floyd died. Like, let's talk about oppression. Let's talk about black lives. For sure. I'm super interested. I grew up in an all black neighborhood, 1000%. But then it just became like, when I was in the front of the line, it was me and my boy Glenn. We went to go protest downtown New York City. And then we look at the leaders of the protest. The leaders of the protest are these white liberals. And they're leading you and they're taking over the protest. They're telling us where to go. You know, grab this, throw that. It's like these white liberals are like, they're really controlling this whole thing. They're controlling the way black people and whoever's out here. You know what I mean? So that was like the first thing I was like, white liberals have, in their mind, literally become that. Like, they've become the representatives of like black people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're mad for you. And then a black person is like, nah, I don't want to burn down the cities. I kind of don't want to like follow you guys. You're a coon. They start calling them names and the black conservatives. So it's like I said, it's when you throw it all in there, it's a mixture of America, white liberals, man. I'm not trying to blame white progressives and white liberals, but when you look at them, like, they're the ones that are igniting this fire, and minorities. Like, they're like, you need to listen to us. We need to burn down this city. You know, we need to break the monarchy. Like, we need to stop, like, nuclear family is bad. Like, this is fascist. Working out is MAGA. Like, they start, like, you just look, I don't know. For me, I look at it, I just like, whoa. Yeah. This is rock bottom for us right here. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, America is at a crazy point right now. People don't understand where we're at. We are at a big point. Like, we are in the middle of like some very civil crazy stuff. People are breaking into ICE detention facilities to go save migrants that were never vetted.
It's wild.
It's
I
crazy
mean,
right
we got
now.
politicians going to El Salvador.
Yeah.
Like, really? Are you going that far to get somebody that is about to get deported anyway?
Yeah.
And they just go there and like, oh man, he got deported by mistake. Like, no, he wasn't. What mistake do you think he did? With
I
it?
went
Oh,
to El Salvador.
you did.
We went last year, right?
We need to go. We need to go to SICA to see that in person.
I didn't go there. I know I've seen a lot of videos, but I went to El Salvador because I was very interested in, you know, the way it's run. And when we got there, it was a really good time. There was no crime. There's no bad vibes. Like everywhere I went to go eat, I asked them how they felt about Bukele. A lot of people are like, you know, he changed the culture, changed everything. We feel much safer. Before, these restaurants used to have to pay the
Yeah.
cartels to even have their business.
Open, yeah.
So yeah, but when we're speaking about, you know, Bukele is like very beloved in Latino America, right? Like he's very beloved. Like I know Santiago Matias in DR loves him. A lot of Puerto Ricans, like a lot of rappers, they're like, yo, like this is what we need in Puerto Rico. You know, we got to
Yeah.
structure Puerto Rico up this way. We got to fire Toto Fiscal y toda esa gente. Like we got to fire these people. But like that ideology does not transcend into American politics, because American politics, again, when you look at the white liberals, it doesn't transcend. Like they look at Bukele, they say, like Latino Americans, they go, oh, this guy's a hero. Like, this guy is what we need. Then they go call Trump a fascist.
I don't get it. I'm
Like, oh, Trump's the bad guy. He's a fascist. He has all these bad tendencies, but
we like Bukele.
we love Bukele. I love Bukele. I love Trump because of this is how he is. So America's not ready for that. America's not ready for the Bukele treatment. Like Bukele, you look like a gang member or like a criminal, you're going to jail. I'm not taking no chances. That's what he said. That's what this is. Bye. No due process for any of you. Now the country has zero crime. You think America's ready? America would never survive something like that. That's why it's not the same. Like Americans are crying because they think that this guy, Kilmer Abregu, didn't get due process. Imagine what's the price you think America will have to pay to have zero crime?
You want me to put a number on it?
No, no number. What's the price you think they have to pay? Because
It's gonna be
the
high.
price that they have to pay is literally
Literally.
people are gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
No due process. Everybody's going to jail.
The Constitution, that's the price. The Constitution. You have to get rid of it for a little bit. So, and that's
You have to become an authoritarian.
it has to.
That's what Bukele is. Bukele is an authoritarian figure. I love him,
Yeah.
but this is who he is. This is why I would never work here. Because if you love the Constitution and you call yourself a constitutionalist, you have to go to war. If anything like that ever happens here, you have to fight for the bad guy. So that's where the Kilmer Abrego Garcia thing gets crazy. Because it's like you want to go and you want to say, well, the solution is, he showed us the solution. You build this massive prisons. You're a gang member, bye. You look like a bye. Everybody's going to jail. And guess what? We have no crime. We live amazingly. Look down at the time, man. What time is it? What's Constitution time? What did you just do? You just violated so many rights. Gotta go one by one by one. America would never be at that place ever. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a dream for a lot of people because they look at, El Salvador, they're like,
It works.
it works. You lock people up and it works. But it's like, what do liberals here say? How many human rights did he have to violate to get peace? Why are you questioning that? Who gives a fuck, bitch? Excuse
got
my
peace.
language, but it's like,
Yeah.
we got peace. We have no crime. And you're here complaining about whose rights did we violate. I don't care. So it's like, it's like right now in my head, it's like a huge fight because it's like I understand, I don't understand, I don't care, I want to care, but it fucks you up in the head. Just even thinking about what you have to go through to achieve peace and no crime. Excuse me, but like no crime will only be achieved by locking people up.
Yep.
So I don't. Yeah, that will never work here. You know, I definitely know that it would never work here. But I think that that's where Trump wants to go.
That's my follow up because I was thinking, okay, now Trump building Alcatraz, he about to refurbish, reopen it, and I think that's where he wants to go. But the Constitution is pulling, it pulled him back. But I guess in his mind, if I was to be Trump for 1 minute, I'd be like, I would go Bukele. I would steal his playbook
Yeah,
and just go crazy. I would go National Guard. I would conscript everyone, veterans, round them up. We're gonna pay you money. Go round up the Crips, the Blood, the Latin kids, round them all up,
yeah.
and it's about to be over.
It would never.
No,
Can't.
we go to war. I mean, people gonna held to the guns. They're gonna go to war, and we're gonna have that civil war that we don't want to have, because it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, no. It's a real conflict of interest. Really, that's what it comes down to is conflicting views. What the heart desires can't have right now. It's not. You're not. America's not willing to pay that price. You know what I mean? And then it just. Yeah.
Who thinks who wins?
I don't think anybody wins in there.
You
I think the moment that Americans start to fight each other, America lost. People lose. Liberals, progressives against conservatives, MAGA, whatever you want to name, America loses. It's lost forever. You killed your brother. You killed your family. You killed your neighbor. You lost. This is you've lost. You know what I mean? Whether you want to, like, I guess in 2024 I could say that civil war, maybe not. Whatever it is that people may want to argue, like civil war is about slavery, civil war was about the economy, civil war was about taxes. Whatever it is that they want to argue, maybe that was to have happened. That needed to have happened at that time. Mm-hmm. But I think that the moment that something like that happens here, we've lost forever, because we're in a different time. We're in a time where we could sit like this and talk to each other. You telling me that we've lost our communication skills to the point where we're just not communicating with each other? We can't talk it out. We can't debate it out. And we see we're getting to that point. Try to talk to one of these people. Man, they yelling, going crazy, trying to spit at you, getting aggressive, trying to attack you. Like, for some, it's become a non-conversation. Like, they're the ones picking up the guns now. They're the ones trying to get rid of Trump, or trying to, vandalize Teslas because they don't agree with this. They don't like this. So, yeah. Maybe it's the conservatives that are the ones holding back. Maybe that's why we haven't seen like a huge fight for real. Maybe they're the ones that we got to depend on to like not snap, because once the snapping starts, it's going to look very different from like a movie. It's going to be one shooting happened here where this guy picked up a gun. He went to this boom. One shooting happened there. And then shootings start to happen slowly. And now we're in an emergency. Trump is declaring, he's hitting the red button. We're in an emergency. Everybody, please stop. Then nobody can stop no more. Now you see somebody, now everybody's shooting. Like, that's probably what it's going to look like. And that's going to be very ugly, bro. It's going to be an ugly thing. So, yeah, I pray that never happens. I pray we never get to that. I pray we never get to that point.
Yeah. I remember I seen a podcast about that, and they were talking about, it was an expert. He said he went to different countries studying what sparks a civil unrest or civil war in different countries. And he came up to the conclusion that it's just like, it was instant. One thing, the sparks,
snaps, yeah.
Everybody went crazy. And there was no like factors that led it into a war or something. It just like one little sparks, and everything went crazy in the city. And that's alluding to your thought. It's like you're probably right. It will happen.
Oh, it will
so,
happen. It will happen
It
quick.
will happen so quick, and people.
But it will happen one by one. Like it'll be
Oh,
one
yeah.
incident that will get all the
It's
coverage.
like a big wave. Yeah.
It will get all the coverage, and then it's just like a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
It might start out like a little slow with 2 incidents big, and then boom, it's just a reoccurring thing. And it's like, oh shit, we can't stop this now. So, especially with this country has the most guns in the world, right? Like it's 300 million people, 350, 400 million, 600 million guns, right? It's like, it's a gun for everybody. Everybody gets a gun.
Those are the ones that registered.
Those are the ones, the ones that are registered.
Those are
Yeah,
registered.
that's true. That's also a good point. Maybe ones that, yeah.
It probably surpassing 1 million, like 1 billion guns.
Well, people will also be scared. They don't know who's who.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they don't know who's who. They're reactive. They're scared. They want to protect their families. They're gonna shoot first, ask questions later. Like it's somewhere I don't think we ever want to get to that point. You know what I mean?
We're not ready.
And I don't think people want to be in a city when something like that happens. No. You don't want to be stuck in a city where everybody's trying to head to the same exits, because now you're in even more dangerous territory. So yeah, we've seen movies about it. We've seen documentaries about it. We've seen experts talk about it. But I think in the United States of America, it'll happen very different from what everybody would expect it to happen. And maybe it's already happening. You know what I mean? Like, it starts out with these politicians, like yesterday again. You know, they're going into ICE detention centers and they're getting arrested by ICE. What happens the next time when they show up and then more people show up with them and they overrun the facility and they take over a facility? And now we're like in uncharted territory. We've never seen this before. You know what I mean? And many people on the left would argue that Trump was the reason for this, because we were never at this point. Like, I would argue against that, because it's like, well, Trump, we needed a politician to call out bullshit. Finally, we got one. And then what did you guys do? You guys spied on his campaign. You guys spied on him. FISA courts. Like, you guys literally went against this president and violated every right that he could have. You raided his home. You did, like, you guys showed that it was only a matter of time until you guys were the ones that were acting authoritarian. Like, you were the ones. So I guess to go flip it back to the right, why people would be scared of Trump being around Bukele is because people would say, yeah, sure, we don't want crime, but like, what happens when like he gets bored? Decides to lock us up. But then you go flip it back, it's like, motherfucker, that's what you did. You tried to lock him up. You literally, in front of the world, you went after him. And you literally had Letitia James out there talking about, we're gonna take his estates. We're gonna bankrupt this guy. We're gonna take everything from him. So yeah, you can blame Trump all you want, but you played into the hands of the foundation of what have now, like, there was a seed planted the moment that they raided him. And the moment that he was indicted, there was a seed, a small seed. That seed, in a matter of 2 years, have grown into a huge tree. Like, it just keeps on growing and growing and growing. It's a seed that grew over time. And I don't know, like, when you have common sense, you try to look at both sides. You try to look at the sides. You try to understand this, but it's like, no. Like, you guys did it.
Yeah.
You guys really went after this guy and you literally lost. You lost. He's in the office now. That's why Democrats, to me, it's like, it's hard to come back from that, man.
Yeah, it's hard. Even a lot of Democrats are thinking the same way you're thinking, like, well, you guys did it.
Yeah.
Now he's in power. Now he's, he got the controller.
Uh-huh.
And he's giving you the same treatment. Why you mad about him? But the facts are, Letitia James, she was bragging yesterday.
Letitia James, Alvin Bragg.
Yeah, they were like, we secured $340 million for whatever. I mean, even though he's appealing, which he's probably never going to pay, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Letitia James, she did some paperwork with wet signature saying that she married her dad. And she lied.
This report came from Sam Antar.
Yeah.
Sam Antar from New York, friend of the show. Well, Latina Brown is a friend of the show. She connected us that way. It's not Trump that found that though.
It was somebody else.
Investigative journalists found that.
And she got mad because somebody found out that she. But that means, is she admitting that paperwork is legit? Because I mean, if she get mad about the leaks of the paperwork, I mean, that's mean. I mean, she's admitting like, okay, it is.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the point where it's like a huge problem that we see now is like, well, she has all these properties, right? Like she has properties
in Virginia, and like, how's she gonna live in Virginia?
How do you have all this money? Like, what's up? Like, what's going? But it goes back to the conversation of like the uniparty, or like all these people that they all love each other. They all know each other. Like they all share the same information, and it's all a show. Like that could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't even think this is a conspiracy. This is like it's a uniparty thing, right? Like tit for tat. Like you do this for me, I do this for you, and you know we try to keep it under the table as much as we could. But it's like, I don't know. I think Trump broke that. Trump absolutely, in my opinion, broke whatever system they had. And like if you're on the other side arguing otherwise, then I don't know what you're thinking. But yeah, he broke that. So when it comes to Letitia James, how do you have all this money? When you go to Congress, how do you guys have all this money?
Oh yeah.
What type of information are you getting that you're like a better stock trader than like 90% of the Wall Street bettors?
Pelosi's beating Warren Buffett.
How?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like how do you get to this
point? Ice Cream Pelosi, the crazy bag bug, like Trump called her crazy bag bug. Her trading is like clean, pristine. Every move that she makes that money. And same with Crenshaw over here, District Number 2.
I was just gonna say Crenshaw.
I mean, he had a
big meltdown about that.
Yeah, he was like upset. Like he almost crashed.
He wanted to fight people. I was like, whoa, what's up with you, man?
He almost took his patch off and be like, hey,
look into my face.
Look into my eye.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that doesn't exist.
Why he got upset about something like legit question about the reporter? Like it was a legit question, like why you get all this money, and he get upset about the inside trading. I mean, inside trading should be illegal for any official politician. Like if you're in Congress or if you are aide or whatever, it should be banned.
It should be term limits.
It should be
a lot.
It should be term limits for House and Congress. It should be a term limit like 2. That's it. Like president, 2 terms. Get out of here.
Yeah, I would say that those are some of the biggest problems that we have. It's like people, you know, insider trading, right? You have not only insider trading, you have the term limits. You have a lot of problems. And again, I'm not a politician. Like we're not politicians.
No,
we're people that vote, we pay taxes, and we voice our opinions. And like I think that we also like we don't have the responsibility. We're not forced to do this. But it's more like, I don't know, man, like what's going on? I want to know. You know what I mean? Like I want to know what's going on over there. Like I just paid a lot of money in taxes. So yeah, it's a very frustrating thing that happens in the world of politics when you start to really look into how these people are living, their $200K salary, but their net worth is like $100 million. Like, how the fuck does something like that ever happen?
And that's one of my biggest concern. They're not even in term. I would say 3 terms. The Senate is like 6 years because they do every 2 years, whatever. How the hell, if your salary is $250K, let's say $250,000, in 6 years, that equates about, you know, tops $1.5 million, 2 millions tops. How the hell you worth $10 million in 6 years span? Like the math doesn't add up.
Making $200,000, right? You then got to get taxed on that. You then have your bills. You have your regular expenses. It's not like you're not keeping the $200,000.
Nah.
All like, you know what I mean? So
the math doesn't add up, and that's my biggest concern. Like, why you worth over $10 million when you been in office for 4 years. How that even possible? And I cannot even do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's like everybody would be rich if we were applying to that to every single person. Let's say I was making 100K a year in 6 years. You ask me, hey Julio, how you doing? Oh, man, my stocks are rising. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm like 7 mil now, and you like, damn, but
Making millions of dollars.
but doesn't add up for politician, and that's my big concern. Like insider trading, and it should be term limits, at least 2 term limits, tops. 4 years. I mean, you do 2 and 2, and you get out, and that would prevent. And the revolving door too. They need to do a law for for these guys coming in the back doors and being aid or something advisors. They need to be a term limit for that. Be like, hey, you have to wait 10, 15 years in order to come back in. Because
They always like stick around.
they always stick around. They do 5, 6 terms, whatever, and then you will see them. They are advisors for the next senator, and I'm like,
Yeah, like they're always some way how they're always making some type of money.
they
It's
always
like,
keep
yeah.
they always keep their hand on the strings. They always keep their hands on it.
Yeah.
And that's how they manipulate, and that's how this freaking wildly spending money went through. Because when you probably seen Elon Musk, getting a round table with the Dutch people, and they were like pulling money every year, and when they ask for a receipt, they stop pulling money. They're like, oh, we don't need that money no more. And like, we just need a receipt.
Yeah.
You could send a picture of your dog,
Yeah.
and we would take it. And then all of a sudden they're like, we don't need the money no more.
We don't need it. We don't need it anymore because now they're on to us.
Yeah,
It gets like that.
there should
But
be an
it's,
audit.
it's like anything.
There
Yeah.
should
It's
be
like,
an audit for everything.
Yeah.
Because that's stealing too much
Yeah,
money
like the Pentagon failed like the last 7 audits.
in a
Like
row.
that's also crazy. Like
not
that's
like make one
no,
fail
that's
two.
in a row. Yeah.
It's in a row.
Bro. Like that should really
That's a red flag. Like
no, but that should worry Americans. Like, whoa, like people are failing audits. Like
but
that's-
they selling us, so we should be mad because they find out about it. Because Dodge find out about it. They try to make us feel bad, like, oh, look, they find out we're stealing money.
But-
we should be upset because they're getting people's social security. I don't care. They find out they're stealing money. That's a good thing. And they're preventing, they closing the spigot. So the more money will be kept in-house.
I would argue the only reason people would be mad at something like that is tribalism. Like another thing is like, I can't tell you that I've been into politics for the longest, but again, it's like when you have some type of common sense and you could do 1 + 1 math, you start to realize, okay, tribalism is a real thing in politics. It's a real thing in race as well. It's a real thing in like, you ever like listen to people tell jail stories or prison stories? It's tribal. Yo, stick with your guys, we stick with ours, whites stick with the whites. And so in politics, it's like that kind of thing really does exist. Like people will only be mad at that because they're very tribal. And the moment that their party gets it wrong, they know that by them admitting, they're giving a victory to the other people. And then people will start to leave them and they got to hang on to being like, Democrats. Right? They got to hang on to being that party. And once you start losing credibility, like people start losing money, people start losing jobs, they start losing positions, so yeah, it's tribalism. And like, okay, somebody that's been a Democrat or that really hates Trump, they don't want to admit that he's right about something. You crazy? Why would they want to do that? Why would they want to give a reason to that? Because they believe in tribalism. So yeah, like the thing, so people will ask me like, yo, how can you be a part or how can you vote for somebody like Trump? Or how can you even do this? Like, I understand. I see the atmosphere that they're watching. Like, we would come from it like, yeah, we've been Democrats our whole lives. We think that they're on some demonic stuff. Like, they think that kids, little girls and little boys could, transition and do all this crazy stuff. Like, people don't like that. People are very religious. They don't want to be, okay. But the other argument to that is like, okay, but you do have white supremacists. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, like Nick Fuentes is a real person, right? You have a lot of people that like Stu Peters or like these people are tribal. They don't like the way America. They don't like immigration. They're definitely not a fan of somebody like me or anybody. Like they're not a fan of Vivek Ramaswamy. So that exists. That's a tribal aspect of the right wing. Those same people will then go and vote for Trump, which will then go, people on the left then go, look at you. You're voting with those people. Okay. So the tribalism aspect of it is a real thing. Like that exists. People that want to conserve America to be all white, that exists. Now you have the other side. Black supremacists. Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar. That same ideology that those people are spitting about white people making sure that they stay the majority in America, right? Like America can only be America with white people. That same attitude is then proceeded on the other side with Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar then goes and says, if you're a person of color, if you have some type of color, if you have some type of African in you, African, you're African. Tariq Nasheed is like, no, we're not African. We're American. We're Black Americans. We don't like outsiders. Yeah, you may look like us, but you're not Black foundational American. So again, it's like it's a world full of tribalism. It's all tribal. Like you have white people that are Christian nationalists. What the fuck does that even mean? You have Black people who are all about Black power. You have Dr. Umar who is like, yo, if you some type of African, we got to go back to Africa. It's become super. It's just tribalism.
Yeah.
So I know this. Like I know this. So that's why I think for myself, I like Trump for these things. I can explain it to you. I can articulate it. And this is why I like this. There's some things that I don't like, and I can also tell you what I don't like about him. There's things that I love about the Republican Party. There's some things I don't love about the Republican Party. There's things that I like about the Democrats. There's some things I don't. So, yeah, that's why I don't get too mixed up in like trying to belong to something. I just express my opinions. Some people like it, some people don't. But I think that being an independent thinker is hard because people are constantly telling you who you are with. I think I'm like with the white nationalists.
Yeah.
No, I'm not white. I don't think like them. That's not my thing. That's not who I am. That's what they think. I'm a Christian. I don't look at race as like, oh, like I know Jesus. Like they will go argue like, oh, Jesus was this white guy. It's like, no, he wasn't. But it's like, I'm not going to spend time arguing that Jesus wasn't white. I know he wasn't white. If you don't know that he wasn't white, then why am I talking to you? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's tribalism everywhere. It's like, it's a capturing thing. It exists in politics. It exists in sports. Like it exists everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, that's why I just look at the field. I look at everything. And I mind my business as much as I could. I give my inputs on things that I want. And I just live my life. You know what I mean? I don't stress out about what somebody's saying about me. But the Democrats is like, your party, you're like, I don't want to say that word. But like when you talk about pedophilia, it's like, you can't, like racism is racism, whatever. People, tribal, they want to, whatever. I also think that everybody can be racist. And a lot of people are like, I've seen Hispanics be racist toward each other. I've seen whites be racist toward the Jews. I've seen Jews be racist toward everybody else. Like I done seen this. I know this. But like, we're arguing that versus like somebody on the left telling me that a kid could be trans. Really? Kid could be trans? You're like advocating for like kids to cut off their genitals at 14 years old because they're going through dysphoria? Really? And you don't know why I'm voting for Trump? Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like that shit right there means everything to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So through all the trials and tribulations of like what politics even is, let's get down to the root causes of your everyday life, your essentials, what you need and what you go through. And that shit right there, man, that shit bothers. It bothers people. It bothers me. I can't stand that type of talk. And it's just like coming from white liberals all the time.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people like presenting this to me. I can't align myself with you if you're going around telling me that, oh, he has like there's no, what do you mean gender dysphoria? He knows what he is. He's a girl. Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. You're fucking weird. I'm good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and that's not to say that Republicans don't do weird shit. You know what I mean? But that's just to say, like, yo, that shit is coming from over there. And I can see you. Hello. Like, I don't, so that's where I that's how I think about politics in 2025. Like, I know what it is. I know what's going on. I know the conversations that people have and that are having, but I also choose my own path in that. You know what I mean? So I try to stay away from the tribalistic part of it, but I know that it's real, and this is human nature.
Yeah. One question for you that is just been going through my mind. Have you ever think about running for office, like at a local? I mean, like a council, or never thought about doing it?
It's not. Yeah, I thought about it because people bring it up, like, "Oh, why don't you run? Why don't you try to be like, why don't you run?" People like, "Oh, run against AOC." It's like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of that world. I don't know. I just.
It is a nasty. It's a nasty business.
It's a nasty world. Not only is it a nasty world, it's just like you're going against a machine. That's number one. If you ever try to run against one of those politicians, you're going against a machine. Like Tina Forty in New York, she was running against AOC. As the Republican seat, as a District 14, if I'm not mistaken. And there's nowhere really there's nothing you could do. You're not getting rid of AOC. Whatever the hell is going on in Washington, D.C., she's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was like designated for her. Like, she beat the white guy, right? She's this young Hispanic girl from like the Bronx. I don't know what part of the Bronx she's at. I don't know if we're cut from the same cloth. I heard she's from like somewhere else. Again, this is why I can't be a part of it, because
it's probably a plant.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't be a part of it because I'll go up in Congress and just start telling you, fucking plant. You're not from the Bronx. Like I've never seen you there. Like, I'll go straight to the hood right now. I love my people. I love where I come from.
Yeah.
I talk to all my friends, even if they're a part of gangs or they're doing something that I don't agree with. I always try to give them the best that I could. Like, bro, I love you. I'm trying to give you the motivational purposes. Like, mostly everything I show them is for motivational purposes. I'm trying to give you as much motivation as I could. Like, I'm that type of conservative. Like, I'm a conservative by nature. This is who I've been since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, my mom was a Christian. This is just, I faded away from it for years, but it's who I am. Conservative. You know what I mean? With some liberal tendencies. I tend to be liberal about some things, conservative about others. But it's just like, I'm really from the Bronx. So yeah, like, no, I've not thought about running. I wouldn't want to run, but man, like, I will serve my people very proud because I'm really from there. 1890 Crotona Parkway, roaches, rats, all this craziness that happens, shootings, gangs, YBs, YGs, gang initiation days. Like, I know what this was about. Like, I grew up there since 2004 when I first came to the States from Puerto Rico. Yes, Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, but it's not in the States. But yeah, so when I came here, yeah, bro, like, yeah, I would serve my people very proud. But that's why it makes me mad. It's like these Bronx representatives, like, y'all not really from here, are y'all? Like, y'all don't really know how this works. Like, I got mad solutions to a lot of these problems that we have. Like, where are the community centers at?
Yeah,
Like
no.
it all starts with the kids. It all starts with education. What can we do to invest in this? How can we raise money to invest in like community centers that teach kids how to read, write, also, keeps them active in sports because this is what I loved to do when I was a kid. But like we gotta make education number one. But we gotta start with the foundation, which is the kids. Teaching kids that being in a gang is whack. That's boring. That's terrible. Doing drugs, that's corny. Taking care of your family, like that's gangster. Like that's who you should get props for. There. That's what I want to celebrate. But how do you shift that culture? Well, if you're a politician in New York City or in the Bronx or in Queens, Manhattan, wherever you're at, that should be your number one purpose. Yo, we have to get to the kids. We have to teach them morals. We have to teach them that being in gangs is bad. We have to teach them that robbing people is bad. This is bad. This is not cool. This is not the way, right? So, yeah, it's like, if it was up to me, I'll teach them, about the Bible, but apparently that's fascist and that's
racism.
yeah, that's racist, fascist
That's
stuff.
racist.
But I would teach them about the stories of the Bible, of Daniel, of like Peter, I don't know. I'll teach them about, of Matthew, right? Like this dude was like portrayed as a traitor to his people because he was a tax collector, taxing as the Jews, working for the Romans. Like, so I would teach I would teach the kids, I don't know. That's my goal though. Like my goal is like when I have enough money, try to open up a community center where kids can come and they can read, write, and if a young lady got to come leave her kid to babysit, we'll have a babysitting center as well. That would be my goal. That's 100% my goal. I know, when I become full-fledged millions of dollars, when I know I will be, that would be it. Like I would devote my life to community centers in the Bronx.
That's cool.
Because like people ask me where I'm from, it's like, yeah, I got a Dominican dad, Puerto Rican mom, but I'm not from any of there. I'm from the Bronx, New York, from New York City, from the United States. I will die for this place. I love this place. Like I have so much passion speaking about this place. This place has given me everything I've ever wanted. I have a house. Took my mom out the hood. You know what I mean? Like I can only do that here.
That's a big.
You know what I mean? Like this was like the biggest accomplishment of my life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have a huge love and passion for my people and where I grew up at. And I think everybody most of the time does, but I know I do. You know what I mean? So that's why when I think of like how people talk about crime, like conservatives make me really angry when it comes to those types of conversations. Because they don't, I don't know. Like I have a lot of hope for my people. So I don't know. By my people, it's like the people I grew up with, or people that live in these neighborhoods. Those like that's where I grew up. That's where I guess I'm very tribal when it comes to that. And I will admit that. Tribalism is real. You have to admit that sometimes. So yeah.
So now you mentioned you move your mom out of the hood and moved to Texas and you own a home now. How does that feel? Like right now, like everything is settled down, and all the paperwork being signed. You got the keys, and you moved down here. How do you feel now?
Surreal. It still feels like yesterday I went through it. It hits you in flashes. It's like yesterday I went through it. But it was like, damn, like it was unbelievable for a second. Like, you wake up and you go to the office. You wake up, you look up, you have a upstairs, you have a backyard. Yeah, it feels surreal. But like I went through this already because we spoke previously about the preconditioning that I put myself through of a different life. When I moved to Westchester County from the Bronx, I moved first and then I moved my mom. So this is not new. This feeling isn't super new. It's still hitting me, but it's not hitting me as hard as it would if I would have shocked myself culturally by moving here directly. You know what I mean? So the preconditioning helped, but it's still a lot. It's still emotionally a lot to handle. All the responsibilities of like, I'm taking care of my mom to the day she dies. God forbid there's no time soon, but like I've made that promise to myself. You know what I mean? Like she's good. I'm gonna work so hard to never, she never has to worry about, where she lives or paying rent or anything like that ever again. You know what I mean? So but that's a lot. You know, like I asked for this though. Like I looked up and I said, I want this. I want the money. I want, the accolades that come with this because, I gotta get my mom out. I gotta get my family out. I gotta get myself out. You know what I'm saying? Like of this hole that it is, when we first came to New York, we were shelter to shelter, right? We stood with my aunt in Boston Road, Bronx, in the Bronx. And then, from there, it was me, my sister, my mom, and my brother. And then it's time to start looking for, shelters. She can't hold us down no more. You know what I mean? She's annoyed now. We got to go look for it ourselves. And we went, stood at a shelter. It was like a facility. And then from that facility, we then go to Brooklyn. Brooklyn by the World Trade. There's like a shelter there. These shelters is crazy at that time. 2004, this is after 9/11. New York City is like a lot different. I was very obsessed with 9/11 as a kid. So the fact that the shelter was like right across the street from there, I went to go visit it. But yeah, it was like there's food. They have a certain time for food. They have a certain time that we can leave. We can't leave. We got to be back by that time. So that's what living in a shelter was. So we lived in the shelter, for facility to shelter, from this shelter to another shelter in the Bronx in Freeman Street. That one was also temporary until we found like a permanent apartment with government assistance. And we lived there for months. That shit was rough. And then from there, we went to 1890 Crotona Parkway, 2004. So it all happened within under a year, but it was rough, man. It was crazy. Like my mom was just showing us pictures of those times. It was a crazy time. You know what I mean? Like I could just imagine her uncertainty, having 3 kids, being a single mom, and just like, we come over here, but we're on a limited schedule with the people we're gonna stay with. We have to go get it on our own. So my brother grew rebellious to that system. He was like, "What do you mean we got no money?" My brother's 3 years older than me, so as 1890 Crotona Parkway comes, and we're in the hood, like we're in the South Bronx. We in the hood, man. We in the peak of it, but that's when I started to fall in love with baseball, and we got to know our neighbors, and we live in a 5-story building. Everybody knows each other. Everybody spends time with each other. Majority Black neighborhood, some Puerto Rican, some Dominican. So no white people, right? That's another thing I always talk about on my channel. I didn't really see white people till like later in life. Like the first white person I ever met was like Miss Evans, who I just connected with not too long ago, named Cynthia Evans. Like the only white people I saw was like teachers, cops, judges. It was like figures. This is why a lot of people like grow up hating, I'm not gonna say they grow up hating white people, it's like, but the system that you grow up in, the only white people you see is like the law, or like a teacher, or like, you know what I mean? Like
Position of power.
Yeah, position of power, and for me it was like, but that was never like, that was just a motivator for me. I was like, okay, this is motivation for me. Like I see that, as you get older, like you start to see. So as I've got older, like I got here at 7 years old, didn't speak I didn't speak no English, man. It was straight Spanish. Now English is like my primary language. I can barely speak Spanish now. But yeah, we got to that building. We got to the school. I went to the school at the block, started to speak English. Things changed. And then gang culture hit the block. So the block was like a happy block. We still had like, we didn't really have gangs, but like it would be fights, it would be arguments, but it was never like the way gangs, like, yeah, things changed one time. Like 2011, YBs, the young bosses, some people came out of prison. It started to shift. People coming home. And then my brother was caught in that. You know what I mean? Like He looked at this as tribal. These are my people. I'm a YB, or, you know, whatever it is that people were representing at that time, especially the young ones. And it just, because there was this thing called light feet in New York. People used to get light. That's how we used to like talk to each other. Like it was like people used to get like Kid the Wiz, and like people still do it today, but like back then it was a real thing. Like getting light and light feet was the movement. And then like slowly it just became like gang culture. Like now we're a part of the YGs, YBs, OYs. And my brother was caught up in that. And that was rough for me, man, because, you know, my mom would be obsessed with like trying to save my brother from problems. And my brother would be in the problems. And it was just a very rough time for me because I wasn't a part of none of that. One thing that my brother did that I loved to today was that he kept me out of it. You know, he was like, yo, focus on baseball, try to make it out, try to get us out of here, man. While he's suffering, and not suffering, but in that world. And my mom is the one really suffering, you know, because she's like, you know, so people got shot, people died. A lot of things happened on that block that I will never forget. And my brother goes to prison in 2013 and my life changed forever. That's when I knew it was like, it was time. Okay, I got to man up quick. My mom had my stepfather, Roberto, they broke up. My grandfather died that year. My brother got locked up, and then, man, like I remember that like it was yesterday. Baseball was it for me, really, because that was like the only thing I could really be somewhat good at. And then, you know, but through there I got an education. I went to college for free. My brother came home in 2018, 3 years after I graduated high school. And in 2019, my life again then changed forever again when I met my dad. You know, so my dad was, I never met my dad until that time. He was in federal prison for 18 years. Then he got deported. I went out there to go see him. That was a crazy time of my life. So yeah, my perspective has changed over the years. You know what I mean? So it was a real struggle, man, because I had a YouTube channel. I didn't really make money from it, but I had this desperation in my heart. Like it was like I couldn't really sleep at night. I stopped playing baseball because I accepted defeat there, and I'm like, what can I do? Like my heart was like very heavy. I gotta get my family out of here. Like I gotta do something big. I gotta be somebody. I gotta be able to accomplish this. Like I can't, like I will get depressed 19, 20 years old. Like I would be depressed 21, 22. It's like time is clicking and I'm not anybody. I'm just gonna be, it's gonna be on a block. Gotta sell drugs, gotta scam. Like what am I gonna do? So yeah, man, like I hit rock bottom so many times in my life, like trying to get to this point. Trying to get here, man, like I went through it all, bro. Like it was crazy. The pandemic was crazy. Everything was just, yeah, but I'm here now.
What was your turning point? Like I know you were telling me previously that you have a channel, it got banned, they closed your channel, and you started a new one.
Yeah. Well, before that.
But yeah, tell me to the timeline, because I wanna get the audience that does not know your story. They know you, but they don't know the story completely.
Yeah.
Take me to the timeline.
Yeah, so we've gone through the way I grew up, my drive. So obviously I want to be something and be somebody. I had a YouTube channel, which is my name, Lou Valentino. I had grew it. It was doing pretty good, but I was doing like music reactions and vlogs and all this crazy stuff. And it was never nothing that caught on for real. Nothing I was really passionate about. And I remember in the pandemic, I had made money. I was doing pretty good for myself after the pandemic. Like, and then like, I just fell like into like the trap of like everybody, a lot of people fell into this trap after the pandemic because they got fired from their jobs or they couldn't get a job and they didn't want to. Like my turning point was really when I did not get the vaccine. That was my turning point. I wasn't like a Trump fan just yet, but I was like my life changed when I said no to the vaccine, right? Because now in New York City, you kind of lost access at that time. You lost access to like entering a spot. You want to go out, you need like a vaccine card. What? Oh, yeah? Like, wow, our lives are changing pretty fast. You know, personal relationships got ruined. You know what I mean? Like people talking crazy. Oh, you don't want to get the vax. You're an anti-vaxxer, or you're crazy, or people calling you out of your name, people disrespecting you. I went through a lot, man. Like a lot of divisiveness. My life changed because of that. Like everybody's life changed because of that, really. Because like it's either you were gonna go and be this pro-vaccine guy that got all the doses and all the boosts, or you were just gonna be somebody that was just skeptical and just, I'm good. I don't want to get this. You know what I mean? But it was like the way people were forcing it down your throat. I had personal experiences with people I had to walk away from at that time. It's like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get it. And then like you told somebody you didn't get it, and then people freak out and have these moments. I still don't talk to certain people because of it. Like I would never talk to certain people because of it. May God forgive me for, holding grudges like that. But man, like people got nasty, bro.
It was
it was a wild time. It was a wild time. My politics began to shift. I didn't really have much of a politics, but I started to notice that there was a trend between people that were very pro-vaccine and people that weren't. Which way did they lean politically? Just look. And I'm like, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a conservative. Like that's not, because I wasn't putting myself in these boxes. I was just me. But like I started to notice, I was like, yo, all these Democrats, like, what's going on? Why do y'all want to, what's happening? Mayor de Blasio offering free food for a vax, $100 for a vax. Like, yo, this is getting weird. You guys are getting very weird. I don't like this. I don't like the way I don't like where we're going with this. So yeah, things shifted there. And I don't know. I was very confused in life at that point. And then 2021 rolls around, which is really toward the end of 2021, because that's when the vaccine rollout and all that stuff happened. And 2021 and the beginning of 2022, before they lifted all those restrictions, thank God. Yeah, I didn't really know what I was doing with my life. I hit rock bottom a few times. I began to gamble. I began to do things that I wasn't really accustomed to. I just began to head down a wrong path. And I pick up the phone. My cousin owns a transportation company. I worked with him before. This is from my father's side, by the way. I just met him in 2019 and found out that I have a cousin that's very successful. Shout out to him. And, I was like, dude, I need a job. Like, I don't know what to do in my life. Like, this is 2022, the beginning of 2022. And I'm like, I'll be a driver. I'll be a driver again. I've driven before, but this time I want to do it for some money. And, he gave me the job. Very grateful for that. Because we're talking about black car service. We're not talking about regular job here. We're talking about like I'm driving Cardi B. I had a list of celebrities.
like a high-end client.
Yeah, Jaden Smith. Like I'm driving Don Toliver. I don't remember some of the big people. Who? Oh, Trump's lawyer. Before I was even making videos about Trump. He stopped being Trump's lawyer after some time though. And then I was driving some high-end celebrities I can't even think about right now. But Busta Rhymes, bro, who was that driver? Offset. Who? 21 Savage. So I would drive all these people knowing that I had all these, it was a very motivating job. And it shifted my perspective at that time because I was going through it. I'm 23 at the time, 24. And I was stressing. I didn't have no money. And I'm just driving. I'm just a driver. I'm just like a normal guy. I'm just a driver. Probably not going to be anything anymore. I was like giving up on life. I was like,
this is it. This is it.
Yeah, I'm just a driver, 24 years old. This is rock bottom. And then I did it for months. An incident happened where this is like the moment I stopped doing it. And then, I left I had dropped it. So I took the key with me to, it was an Escalade. It's 2022 Escalade, brand new Escalade, all blacked out, black car service. I'm driving the best people in the world. I have a pickup to go to, but I have like 2 hours to spare, 3 hours to spare. So I go to the store in Harlem, somewhere in Harlem. And I get out the car. I have the key on me, but I left the car on. Usually when I get out the car in the Escalade, it usually locks. Didn't lock. So at this time in New York City, like robberies are happening. People are getting in cars and it's taking them because cops can't chase you. Like there's like a law where you can't chase at a certain miles per hour, or if you're in the city, you can't chase. Cops can't chase you. It's illegal. And so this is what I was told by the cops. I don't know, but so the car was the truck was taken. I'm like, oh shit, the truck was taken. Like, I'm looking for I got the key on me though. Like how long is, like, how much life can the car really have without the key? And I knew that the moment that happened to me, I knew that this looked very funny to my cousin in the company. Cause I'm like, oh fuck, they took the car. Well, they took the car. I have the key. I'm calling them. I call, the president of the company. I'm like, hey, look, the car is gone. I'm in contact with the police, but I can hear it in their tone that they're not buying this story. They're not buying it. They're like, I'm telling, like, yo, the car got stolen. I'm in contact with the cops, but their tone is like, oh yeah, you sure about that? Like you didn't plan this out. Like, they're giving me this mood, this attitude. And I'm like, the cops are right here. Like, I got the key on me. Like, why would I, so shit, my world crumbled, man. Like it crumbled because I was already feeling down. And then now I'm like, oh shit, these motherfuckers think I took the car. Like I hired somebody to take it, but I had the fucking key. And like, why would I do that? I know where all the cars are at. I know everything about you guys. I would never. I have all these celebrity addresses I've never shared with anybody. But I think I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into that, but I don't know. I think it was a stigma on me already. I'm from the Bronx. People do crazy shit. I guess that's from there. But that's not who I was. That's not what I was. Like 2 weeks, like a week, no, less than a week later, detective called me. They weren't supposed to call me, but they called me. I was like, oh, we found the car. It was in the middle of a highway by trees. And I'm like, for sure that those people that took the car got in there or whoever got in there, because they broke everything, because there was a tracker on it, Amstar. I don't know if you got that on your truck, but there was only, I guess they ripped it off and it was hard to track the truck. But then they found a truck in the middle of somewhere or whatever. Found it. Like it was abandoned. I'm like, thank God, they found it. I gave the keys back. And then our relationship was never the same. So I guess I'm fired, I guess. People, they don't trust my story. They think I fucking planned this out. So I took that opportunity. I said, why the fuck? Like something got in me. I was like, fuck all of you. Like, I have a purpose. I'm here for a reason. Like, I know that God had something much bigger for me. So I picked up that camera and I was like, we're going to do something. We're going to try stuff. And it didn't take me that long, man. I ran into Candace Owens. Candace Owens changed my life forever. As much as people don't like her, as much as I grew up for the years looking at her like very bad, she did the greatest lie ever sold. It's about Black Lives Matter. It's about where the money went. It's like an exposure of like her documentary opened up millions of people's eyes. It was like, this was done by 3 lesbians who don't believe in a nuclear family. Okay, that's a red flag, number one. This money has gone to nothing but LGBTQ and trans issues, not the block, not the hood, not black neighborhoods. So what's going on here? So I did a reaction to her documentary. I remember it just went up. And I was already anti-vax. And it was kind of like a familiar word for a degree. It's like, okay, are these my people? Like, what's going on? But I still wasn't like fully sold on the idea of conservatism and all this But yeah, I just did reactions, man. I did a reaction to Trump. I did a reaction to one of his. There was a video about him. I forgot what it was, but I just remember the views going slowly up and up. And for 1 month, I made 3K. And then the next month, I made like, I'm doing these videos. Like, I'm telling people, hey, look, I'm just a guy. I come from the left ideology when it comes to politics because I'm not, I believe to a degree that Trump was 100% somebody that you should not vote for where I come from. But then the videos became like eye-opening for me. It's like, yo, Democrats have been getting chosen for so many years, but they don't do anything for us. And it just became about what they lack. And I started looking around. I'm like, there's a point here. So the videos grew over time, and then I just slowly saw my life changing. The whole 2020, from 2022, 2023, that whole year was like straight videos every day and politics and reading and then videos. The summer of 2023, that's when my life changed, like financially. Spiritually, my life had changed already. Mentally, my life had changed already. But now my life has changed financially. And then YouTube cuts me off. Now we're in a nine-month drought of never receiving a check from YouTube after getting a whole bunch of money. And then after that, I mean, you probably saw it was just a fight, man. I was at the peak. I was Fox News. I was getting invited places. I was at the peak. But I wasn't getting paid by YouTube, and that was a very depressing time. But that was the start to the middle. Like that's what got me to that point, and that's what got me to the middle. And then obviously, 2024, huge year, like unbelievable year. I make my second channel in the middle of the year, but to that point, it was like, this is election season. This is like my first election season where I'm active. Like I'm going around and I'm making videos and I'm like, yeah, it was, now we're about to hit the, eventually mid-road of 2025. 25. This year has been really good to me too, but it was just more like, yeah, that's where we're at, man. Our lives change. Like YouTube changes lives. I recommend people pick up a camera and make some YouTube videos. Man. Do some reactions. If you ever want to try anything, do that. That's a very, do reactions, do commentary. That shit will literally change your life in a heartbeat, And that's what it was for me. It was a huge blessing, man.
Have you ever been contacted by big conservative, let's say, outlets like Daily Wire, Glenn Beck, all those guys that
No.
that owns their own media companies? They're being contacted to be part of their team as a commentator.
Nah, recently I got Blexit. Blexit is like a Turning Point USA branch where they go and they do events. It's like for Black people, I guess. I got invited to that recently, but yeah, I got Fox News. Yeah, that's about it. I would never do it though, because I would never have the freedom that I have by having 2 YouTube channels that are successful. You know what I mean? Like I can post what I want. I can say what I want.
You be beholden to
yeah, because look at the Candace Owens situation, right? Like,
oh yeah, that was
she spoke out against Israel. Oh, they're bombing children. They're doing, what are they doing over there? She started speaking about, I don't know. She said Christ is king. That was a problem. Like it's just like you got to be careful who you associate yourself with, especially when you sign with a media company. You know what I mean? And I think she learned a very valuable lesson there with the Daily Wire.
Yeah. Daily Wire is it's going down in flames though.
It seems like it.
Who's still there? Like
Matt Walsh,
Michael
Knowles, Ben Shapiro,
and Ben Shapiro.
That's about it.
Where's
I think there's another.
Where's it? What's the young lady?
Brett Cooper left too.
Brett Cooper left, and she made in like 24 hours like 1 million subscribers. It was crazy.
They got bigger.
They got bigger.
They got bigger.
They,
Candace Owens is huge right now.
you know what's weird about Cooper? They brought somebody that looked just like her. They tried
That's
to
her best friend.
yeah.
That's I think if I'm not mistaken, that was her maid at her wedding,
But
and she took the job.
yeah. But they stopped to talk to each other, I guess.
Yeah, because of that. Yeah,
It was weird.
that was. I think she was on the Sean Ryan show speaking about that. And yeah, it was. Yeah, it just. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't want to sign with a company like that. Maybe I don't know. I can never say never, but I guess watching that play out, it does make you go, whoa.
Yeah, think about it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, like, signing with a company, but, signing with a company could be good because they do a lot of productions for you to help you out. It really, it does help. That's,
Yeah.
BB by myself is I got to edit. I could also hire an editor, but like, these things I got to do. I got to figure out. I got to hire the people. I got to do this. I got to do that. All the, Brett Cooper seemed like she had to do is just get on camera and be the star. Maybe figure out a couple things of what they're going to talk about with the producers, but it would help. It's a team effort. Now she's probably, doing it and hiring people, and she has to pay out of pocket, and things change that way. But yeah,
Do you see yourself in the future doing that? Like in let's say 2026? Because I know 2025 would be a great year for you, but 2026, do you see yourself hiring the right personnel to elevate your brand and take LV Nation, take Lou Valentino to like, hey, we now making content for millions of views a day. Will you see yourself doing that?
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I see myself in politics. Like, political commentating is something that I love. Like, I like it. I like talking about it, but I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know if I want to, like, because I want to start a podcast and I want to go around and I want to have real conversations with people while still also like doing political commentary. But I don't like, I want to go as far as I could commentating on politics, but I don't know if I want to make it a network or go super far and beyond for it, because my love for politics dies with the divisiveness that I find every day. So like, I don't know. It's a very divisive, nasty sport, and me being 28, I have enough energy to go and then start some new shit that I can do great with. So I don't want to limit myself to just being a political guy. Don't get me wrong, that is all I devote my life to now, but I also at 28 I have enough energy to go and start, okay, let me start with options. Let me see how far we can go with this while also doing this. So that's where I'm at with it right now. It's like, I don't know. Politics is a lot, man. It's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
It's a lot to handle for young political commentators that are coming up. And me, I just talk about it. Like, I'm not a guy trying to debate you about it. That will be the next step. The next step will be going out, having debates, debating college kids and doing all this.
Like Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, because like for me, like my next step in life is like, God is calling. I hear him. You know what I mean? Like the gospel must be spread. So that to me is like, maybe I've been running away from it, but spread the gospel. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're here to do as Christians. Like that to me is like politics and these Christians in these conservative circles, they're not spreading the gospel. Spreading
That's true.
separatism and must stay away from those people. Stay away from these people. And these people are bad. Where's the gospel? That's what Jesus was here to do. He broke down the walls of the dividing walls of the Old Testament that the way the Pharisees ran, or the way things were. Jesus came to show us the way. I thought that the whole goal of being a Christian was to show people the way, not to. But that's where I think politics and Christian, it collides with each other. It just becomes friction. Not saying that there weren't politics in the Bible, but it's a frictional thing. But yeah, like getting up on stage and telling people my story and motivating people, that's like a motivational speaker or speaking about my story. That's something I love to do. I love being motivational. I love trying to change a culture or shift it while still talking about politics. But like that, I don't want that to be my end all be all, because I will never be happy. You know what I mean? Like I will never be happy just talking about politics, because I will never be able to, I don't know, be exactly who I'm supposed to be, which is somebody that is bringing physical and mental change to people's lives. Talking to somebody about Trump it's not going to end well. Never does. You know what I mean? Like you could try.
Yeah.
Like, I know with your dad or like with family member or with friends, like over time it went well. But like at that moment, it's just like, it's a headache. Like trying to explain to people,
Yeah.
Or it goes. So that's where I'm at with it. Yeah, like I want to get up on stage. I want to tell people my story. I want to help people be successful in this YouTube space. I want to help others. I want to spread the gospel as much as I can. You know what I mean? I want to spread the word. Like that's what this is. I think I feel it in my heart. Like that's where you could try to I try to okay, maybe I'll start tomorrow, or maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that, and then there's a Bible in my office, and it's like I forgot how I got there, and then I remembered when I woke up. It's like, oh, I remember how I got there now, but it's there, it's looking at me. Open it, read it.
It's calling your name.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where yeah. I guess the empire I'm trying to build, that's the top floor. The foundation is politics, and it's commentary. It's my personality. It's me being from the Bronx, and the 2024 election, and 2022 before Trump even ran, and that's great.
I have one question for you. Let's say you start a podcast today, and your first guest, the first one you have is Jesus.
Ooh,
What question will you ask to him?
ooh. That's a deep one. What question will I ask Jesus if he was right in front of me? Oof. How did I do? How did I do? That's what I would ask Jesus. How did I do? Because there have been so many conversations that I've had with him. And like at the end, or if it was now, like, how did I do? You know what I mean? Like in your eyes. That's what I would ask. Because I know what the answer maybe could be. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there is a certain there's a place of affirmation or reassurance from Jesus that I will get at that moment, that I would need, and that I always look for and I always get, because I know it's Jesus. How did I do? Imagine hearing back from Jesus, "You're my son." You know what I mean? Like, or reassuring me that that he's with me everywhere I go. Yeah, that would be. How did I do, man? I tried. You know what I mean? Like I tried. I try to fight temptation as much as I could. I tried. How did I do, man? How did I? That would be the question.
That's a good one.
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It was good. Good conversation, brother.
That was really good. It was like a therapeutic session in here.
Yeah, anytime you wanna come by, anytime you have little a 2-hour block on your schedule, you text me,
sure.
man. Hey,
For sure.
can I borrow your studio for somebody to interview? You're more than welcome to come in and do it. My door's open to you. Mi casa es tu casa. So whatever you want, man, just let me know. Whatever I can assist you, let me know. I'm here to help.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
If you guys like this episode, please comment down below. Follow Lou Valentino. I will link everything down below. If you already follow him, go ahead, follow me too. I need that help. I need that.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Wherever you see this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to also watch it on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube, Rumble, Amazon Music, iTunes. I'm everywhere.
Yeah, it's literally right here.
He's right here. Literally right there.
The Xray Podcast.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you for having me, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
That was good.
All right, man.